In the headlines, President Bola Tinubu's inaugural speech announcing end of fuel subsidy triggers fuel queues. NNPC welcomes move as Petroleum Regulatory Authority says it will ensure smooth transition to avoid supply disruptions. Colorful Durbar stage in Daura to honor former President Buhari. DSS EFCC operatives clash in Lagos State. And on the foreign scene, armed men kill 4 in northern Cameroon attack. Hello and welcome to Trust News Update. I am Abdurrahman Omar. Thanks for joining. And now the news info. Fuel queues return to filling stations in Abuja following President Bola Tinubu's inaugural speech that hinted fuel subsidy is gone as no provisions is made beyond June this year. Kabiru Lawal reports that Nigerians are now calling on the new president not to make life difficult for the people. The report.
President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in his inaugural speech on Monday said subsidy is gone. This prompted filling stations to stop selling, thereby creating long queues in stations belonging to Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation Limited. Abuja residents called for caution in handling the fuel subsidy situation, as any price hike will only worsen an already difficult situation.
The country is not yet ready for this, because before you remove subsidy, I'm sure they're supposed to have made some plans, on the late plans of empowering, especially the youth. There are a lot of people that are not working. Even the workers, imagine someone earning less than 50,000. How can that person cope in this particular situation that we are in? The country is not yet ready.
I'm sure he can do it, and then with the way I know him, he is someone that cannot be easily bended. He is someone that people cannot confuse him anyhow like that. So I believe with his promises, I believe he will fulfill it.
Commuters also expressed fears that the subsidy removal will only make fuel available, but resultant price hike will certainly affect transport fare and price of essential commodities.
It will affect a whole lot of people. It will affect the transportation, because with the low-income earners, it's not too easy for us. Coming from our homes, okay, today I was leaving the house. There was no vehicle. I came today, okay, this is where I work. I want to buy fuel. No fuel. The filling station is closed right now. No fuel. I was able to buy Ajayi, but I had to struggle. People are even fighting. You understand? So we want to know if we can tackle this thing, because apart from the fuel thing, people are hungry. People are starving. People are dying. No, but like, people need help. People are so heavy.
For now, the queues remain and car owners struggle to get fuel, even though the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation and the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Agency have assured Nigerians of availability of the product.
Despite the new president's pronouncement on removal of subsidy, as you can see behind me, people have not heaved sigh of relief, especially the motorists, complaining that they don't know how the fuel price will be this time around. And also in front of me here is the AA Rano. The filling station is a ghost of itself. It's not as if they are ordering the fuel, but they don't know the outcome of how fuel subsidy will be on them. Kabir Lawal, Trust TV News, Abuja.
Group Chief Executive Officer, Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, Mele Kyari, says the company welcomes the subsidy removal announced by President Bola Tinubu during inaugural speech on Monday. Fuel queues have resurfaced at filling stations following the announcement. Kyari had previously stated that Nigeria spends 4 billion naira monthly on fuel subsidy, so the decision by the government is a welcome one.
On PMS is over, and this has really been a major challenge for NNPC's continued operation. We have been funding the subsidy from the cash flow of NNPC since government is unable to defray the cost of subsidy that is due to the corporation. And we believe that this will free resources for the NNPC to continue to do the great work that this company will do for our country, and it allows us to continue to function as a very commercial entity. We welcome this development. Secondly, we would like to assure Nigerians that we have sufficient supply of petroleum products, particularly petroleum motor spirit in our country, and there's no reason to panic. We understand people will be scared of potential changes to price of petrol, but that is not enough for people to rush to fuel stations to buy more than they need. But we are also assured that we are watching all the distribution networks and support facility. We believe that this will compromise will be restored very soon. Thank you very much.
The Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority says it is working with the NNPC Limited and all the stakeholders to guarantee a smooth transition following the removal of fuel subsidy. President Bola Tinubu, in his inaugural speech on Monday, said the fuel subsidy regime had ended with the commencement of his administration. The authority made this known on Tuesday in a statement signed by Kimchi Apalo, General Manager, Corporate Communications, NMDPRA, to address concerns regarding the removal of fuel subsidy. Apollo said the authority was working to avoid disruptions in the supply of premium motor spirit, PMS, also known as petrol, as well as ensure that consumers were not shortchanged in any form. He assured ample supply of PMS to meet demand and that the authority had taken necessary steps to ensure that distribution channels remained uninterrupted and fuel readily available at all filling stations nationwide. The Trade Union Congress of Nigeria, TUC, has said that the President Bola Tinubu cannot solely take the decision to remove subsidy payment on petroleum products in the country. The TUC said that the newly inaugurated president should tarry a while to give room for robust dialogue and consultation and stakeholders' engagement before making any decision on the delicate matter. The Congress said there are a host of issues that need to be amicably considered and resolved before such a decision can be taken by the president. The TUC said the president cannot unilaterally take a decision on subsidy removal, saying that there was a reason the immediate past administration of Muhammadu Buhari pushed the sensitive issue to the new government. President Bola Tinubu's journey from activism, legislation and governance to the Aso Rock Villa is said to be turbulent and yet smooth. In this report, residents of Lagos State in southwest Nigeria recalled his many struggles and resilience that prepared him for ultimate tasks of leading Nigeria.
The inauguration of Bola Tinubu as the 16th President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria did not come overnight. Residents of Lagos, a state he governed for 8 years, say it was a result of planning, hard work, political networking, and investment in people over the years.
He has been confronted with many challenges of support. In fact, if I have to quote his wife, if I have to refer to what his wife said, that they have been bruised and that his family has been battered. So he surmounted it to the glory of God. Despite betrayals from his trusted allies, the man still forged ahead through courage. What I can just deduce from his travel is that he's a courageous man.
You can see he has the charisma, he has everything to become what it is today. And thank God he's the president of Nigeria as of today. You can see it on ground. When he was the governor of Lagos State, he has been the playmaker, he has been everything in what Lagos State is today.
While confirming his capacity and commitment to deliver on the mandate, other respondents say the new president requires the support of the citizens, especially the youths, to move Nigeria forward.
Iwaju is somebody that we've known that has really performed well in Lagos State. And during his tenure, Lagos was a very beautiful place that people were able to live and enjoy. And looking at him being the president of Nigeria now, the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, we should expect him to do more. And all he needs is our support, especially the youth. We should support him. If we give him his support, we should give him the support that is needed. And the prayer that God should give him good health and sound mind. And we know with that, he's going to surely move Nigeria forward to a greater height.
He's one of the people I so much believe in Ashwadi.
You know, when you want to be great in life, you face a lot of challenges. Before the election, there's a lot of rumors, there's a lot of propagandas, there's a lot of what's it called, photoshopping videos and all that. Balablu, Bulaba. But with that, Ashwaju is our president today. And I'm very optimistic he's going to deliver.
As a new president hits the ground running with the top decisions such as removal of nagging subsidy, draining the nation's resources, respondents urged him to promptly fix the economic challenges bedeviling the country.
There is massive turnout of people across the entire Daura town in Katsina State following a special Durbar organized by the Emir of Daura, Umar Faruk Umar, to welcome the former President Muhammadu Buhari back to his hometown. The Durbar large turnout of special dignitaries from the Emirate, Katsina State and the entire country. Several people also line up on the streets of Daura Emirate to witness the special occasion. The former President Muhammadu Buhari received royal greetings from the Emir, district heads and other well-wishers. Among the district heads are Yusuf Buhari, a son to the former president, who also dressed in colorful regalia and adorned horses with entourage. Also among is his uncle Musa Haru, who is also a traditional title holder and a district head in the Emirate. Similarly, the special guest of honor is the new governor of Katsina State, Dr. Umar Dukorada. His counterpart of Borno State, Professor Babagana Umar Zulum, were also in attendance. Other dignitaries are former chief of staff to the former president, Professor Ibrahim Gambari, Emir of Borno, former ministers of finance, disaster management, aviation, information and culture, and the national chairman of the All Progressive Congress, APC, Abdullahi Adamu. Buhari returned from Abuja on Monday after serving the country as president for 8 years. The chief whip of the Senate, Senator Orji Kadu, says he will not step down for anyone in the race for the office of the Senate President. Speaking to journalists at the National Assembly on Tuesday, Senator Kadu says talks are at an advanced stage between himself and former Zamfara State Governor Abdulaziz Yari to contest the 10th Senate presidency on a joint ticket, and the outcome of their meetings will be unveiled soon. Senator Kalu's position is contrary to the stand of the ruling All Progressives Congress APC, which has zoned the seat of the Senate presidency to the South-South and chose Senator Goswill Apabio to lead the 10th Senate. The party has also chosen Senator Barrow Jibrin from Kano State for the position of Deputy Senate President.
And I'm expecting President Ahmed Tinubu, for me, in my opinion, this is my personal opinion, he should look into all the abandoned projects, like a Jokuta steel mill, like a larger steel mill, like Jos Rolling Mill, like Katsina Steel Mill. These are the source of our debt. One of my friends told me that he made a study, which I believe with him, Senator Jimo Ibrahim told me he made a study that over 11,000 abandoned projects. And these are what is taking our debt services. Secondly, I would also like President Ahmed Tinubu to step on security, issue of security, and the people of Nigeria. And some of the ministries and parastatals are no longer viable. If they should, something like Ministry of Niger Delta, some of those ministries are no longer viable to the ministries. We have ADDC, like we have the Northeast Development Commission, they have no ministry. So the Ministry of Niger Delta should be scrapped off and reposition the NDDC to report directly to the president, which is what is in the act. That in the act, there's no way the state NDDC will report to the Ministry of Niger Delta. No, the answer is no. So they should allow the commission as a commission to be able to function purely as a commission. So
There was a mild drama on Tuesday morning at the Lagos office of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, as operatives of the Department of State Services, DSS, prevented the officials of the anti-graft agency from accessing their office. It was learned that the feud arose from a pending rivalry between both agencies over the ownership of a building located at number 15E, Awolowo Road, Lagos State. An official of the FCC told Daily Trust that the DSS operatives arrived at their office Tuesday morning and refused to leave the premises despite dialogue between operatives of both agencies. The spokesman of the anti-graft agency, Wilson Ojorin, when contacted, described the development as strange, explaining that the two agencies had lived together within the facility for over 20 years without any rancor. But in a swift reaction, the spokesman of the DSS, Peter Apnanya, told our correspondent that the property in question belonged to the service, and as such, it is not correct to say its operatives barricaded EFCC office. He appealed to the media not to create any imaginary rivalry between the two agencies, adding that they are great partners working for the good of the nation. You are watching Trust News Update. Coming off shortly, we take a look at agro-climatic resilience in semi-arid landscapes. Details of this and more after the break. Don't go away. Welcome back, and in case if you are just joining us, this is news update on Trust TV. Now we take a look at the recap of our top stories. President Bola Tinubu's inaugural speech announcing end of fuel subsidy triggers fuel queues. NNPC welcomes move as Petroleum Regulatory Authority says it will ensure smooth transition to avoid supply disruptions. And colorful Durbar stage in Daura to honor former President Buhari. Now moving on to more stories. The National Industrial Court has upheld the no work, no pay rule by the federal government in its dispute with the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU. The court held that the rule enforced by the federal government against members of ASU who went on strike last year is legal. In a judgment delivered by the president of the court, Justice Benedict Kenyav, the court held that it is within the right of the federal government to withhold salaries of workers who embark on industrial action. The court, however, held that it is a violation of university autonomy for the federal government to impose the Integrated Payroll and Personnel Information System (IPPIS) platform on members of ASUU who reserve the right to determine how their salaries should be paid. The federal government had dragged ASUU before the National Industrial Court over the demand of the union for the payment of their salaries from February 14 to October 7 last year, when the strike was called off. Osun State High Court sitting in Osogbo has convicted the founder of the Hilton Hotel, Ile-Ife, Raymond Adedoyi, and 3 staff of the hotel for complicity in the murder of a student of Obafemi Awolowo University, OAU, Timothy Adedoyi was charged along with 6 of his workers on 18-count charges, bordering on murder, conspiracy, oath of secrecy, among others. He was subsequently sentenced to death. Chief Judge of the State, Justice Adepele Ojo, in her judgment on Tuesday, discharged 3 defendants, Magdalene Chifona, Lawrence Oluole, and Adedeji Adesola, from the counts of conspiracy to murder and murder. However, they were found culpable of other counts in the charges. The court dismissed the second autopsy report signed by 2 pathologists from Obafemi Awolowo University Teaching Hospital. Justice Ojo established that late Timothy Adegoke lodged in the Hilton Hotel and paid into the account of the 7th dependent. The court held that evidence presented before the court placed one Oyetunde Kazim among those who perpetrated the act, and he found guilty of the counts. The World Bank has commenced the implementation of agro-climatic resilience in semi-arid landscapes project worth $700 million in 19 northern states and Federal Capital Territory to help reclaim land degradation in the region of the country. Abdulhamid Umar, the national project coordinator who led an assessment team to Bauchi State, disclosed this to newsmen on arrival to the state capital. Adamu Imam completes the report.
The national coordinator said essentially Bauchi State became the first among 19 northern states and FCT on commitment to the project as far as the intervention is concerned. He added that those states are competing for $700 million on agri-cell projects intervention with counterpart fund.
Brought about by climate change, some to a very large extent by our activities as humans, to some extent by nature. The intention is that this intervention will reach out to those, particularly at the grassroots. We intend to turn what I saw in the sky, largely brown to green, where water provisioning will be made available for agricultural purposes, which is predominantly the mainstay of the people of Bauchi.
While engaging the stakeholders through their traditional rulers at the community level, the World Bank team says the purpose is to fight issues surrounding desertification, drought, landscape degradation, and deprivation, particularly in the northern parts. These communities are expected to leverage on the projects to benefit more. They train us a lot, especially in the area of environmental issues related to agriculture and planting of trees to prevent our community from windstorm, soil erosion, land degradation. We are proud of this intervention. At the Yankari Game Reserve, the team inspected some of the equipments and operational kits for reserving the forest to international standard procured by Bauchi State Government. They also interacted with forest rangers and other state project coordinators who came to Bauchi to see for themselves on what is expected of them.
Quantum of specialists altogether. In fact, we have not only hosted World Bank, but we actually hosted the whole of the world, because you can see the specialists cut across all the countries and continents. So we are very happy and we learn a lot. Agri-Cell has to do with the issue of capacity building, and that's a good part of the project. So I want to assure you that all that we have noted and what they tell us, of course we have commended, but they gave us some, additional information on how are we going to be successful as
livelihood intervention. It is at the initial stage because they have to do the need assessment of the projects. We hope that the support ground communities, they will be part of the reserve and they will feel that yes, they have commitment that has to do with the management of the reserve. That will give us support.
He explained that the project is to run for 6 years, at the end of which is expected things will turn around positively and the communities will be good for it. Adam Imam, Trust TV News, Bauchi.
An unforeseen unidentified assailants killed 2 customs officers, a policeman and a civilian in an overnight attack on a security post in northern Cameroon. The mayor and 2 military sources said on Tuesday the attack took place at the entrance to the town of Mora in Cameroon's far north region, about 30 kilometers from the border with Nigeria. One of the military sources, who requested not to be identified, attributed it to the Islamist Boko Haram, which is waging an insurgency in the region. He also said that 1 soldier and 2 Boko Haram fighters were killed in a separate attack on Monday evening on a military post in the far north town of Zigugwa. Mora was hit by several suicide bomb attacks in 2015 and 2016 by suspected militants from Boko Haram. And on sports news, Flying Eagles head coach Laden Boso has said his team will give their all against Argentina in the round of 16 encounter at the ongoing FIFA Under-20 World Cup. Nigeria will battle the host country for a place in the quarter-final of the competition in San Juan on Wednesday night. The West Africans finished in 3rd position in Group D with 2 wins and 1 defeat. Argentina, who are managed by former Liverpool and Barcelona midfielder Javier Mascherano, top Group A with a maximum 9 points. The South Americans will hit into the game as favorites, but Bozo strongly believes his team have a chance against their opponent. The game will kick off at 10 p.m. Nigerian time. With that, we have come to the end of Trust News Update. Do not forget to follow us across all our media platforms and our live to YouTube streams. I am Abdurrahman Omar. Thanks for watching and bye for now.